had thought she had it all with Peter. They were high school sweethearts that had defied the odds and stayed together for 7 years. They had shared everything together, from their first kiss to their dreams of the future. But all of that changed when Peter suddenly became successful. He landed his dream job and started making a lot of money. He no longer saw Anne as the girl he fell in love with in high school, but as someone holding him back from his new life of luxury. So he carelessly dumped her, leaving Anne heartbroken and devastated. Anne was in disbelief. She couldn't understand how the person she thought she knew so well could hurt her in such a way. She fell into a deep depression and contemplated ending her own life. It took her 2 years of therapy, support from friends and family, and inner strength to finally pull herself out of the darkness. But when Anne emerged, she was a completely different person. The sweet, trusting girl that Peter had once loved was gone, replaced by a hardened, cynical man. She vowed never to love again, believing that love only brought pain and heartache. When anyone dared to ask her out, Anne boldly billed them on the first date, making it clear that she was not interested in anything beyond a superficial connection. She became known as the Ice Queen, her once warm and loving heart now encased in ice. But deep down, Anne still longed for the love and connection she had with Peter. She just couldn't bring herself to trust anyone again, fearing that she would be hurt once more. And so, Anne continued to push people away, choosing to walk through life alone rather than risk being hurt again. And as the years went by, Anne's heart remained frozen, aching for the love she once knew, but too afraid to thaw and let someone in. As Anne delved deeper into her career and continued to navigate the murky waters of relationships, she found herself becoming even more jaded and skeptical of love. Her heart, once broken by Peter, had now hardened to the point where she believed that all men were untrustworthy and only out to hurt her. With her newfound success and financial independence, Anne wielded her power over men with a cold, calculating hand. She ruthlessly billed any guy who dared to approach her for a relationship, viewing them all as nothing more than potential heartbreakers. She became known in certain circles for dating married men, drawn to the allure of their financial stability and willingness to provide her with the material comfort she craved. And as time went on, Anne's demands only escalated. She set a price tag on her affection, making it mandatory for anyone who wanted to be in a relationship with her to shell out a weekly sum of 20 million naira. To her, love had become transactional, a business arrangement rather than a genuine connection between two people. Life for Anne became a glossy facade, a whirlwind of luxury and extravagance that left her feeling empty and unfulfilled. Despite the lavish gifts and extravagant lifestyle, there was a hollow ache in her heart that no amount of money could fill. She longed for something more, something real and genuine, but her hardened exterior and deep-seated beliefs about men made her push away any chance of finding true happiness. Marriage was never even a consideration for Anne. She scoffed at the idea of settling down with someone, believing that all men were cut from the same cloth of heartbreakers and irresponsibility. Her fears and insecurities drove her further into a world of superficiality and materialism, closing herself off to the possibility of ever finding the love and connection she craved deep down inside. And so, Anne continued to walk her path alone, surrounded by opulence but trapped in a gilded cage of her own making. The walls she had built around her heart were impenetrable, shielding her from the pain of the past but also preventing her from embracing the possibility of a brighter future filled with love and genuine happiness. One day at Anne's office, a young handsome guy named Sabinas was transferred there. The secretary took him round the desks to introduce him to his new colleagues. When he got to Anne and her team's place, he told them his name was Said Sabinas. Immediately, Anne coded that he might be from Port Harcourt. Here, Anne has concluded that all the guys in Port Harcourt were irresponsible. So she said to Sabinas, "Where is your married ring?" And Sabinas said, smiling, "I'm not married yet." Then Anne said, "How is your girlfriend?" And he said she is cool. They teased him jokingly and he smiled and left their desk. He kept seeing each other in the office, and each time they see, one will say hello and the other will respond hello. Anne was still living her luxurious lifestyle funded by different men. One day, Sabinas and Anne were grouped on same project. They were assigned to work together. Sabinas was the team leader while Anne was the assistant. Since then, they became good friends. One day, they went on a friendly date. They talked to the extent that Sabinas told Anne how he was disappointed by a girl called Amoka. Sabinas single-handedly sponsored Amoka to the university when his father died, hoping that she will marry him someday, but she dumped him and married one billionaire Chief Emeka. Sabinas told Anne how he almost died of heartbreak, how he resigned from his previous job and changed his lifestyle as a result of what Amoka did to him. He said he broke many girls' hearts too. He told Anne how he had numerous relationships with older women because of money, which is known as sugar mommy. Sabinas told Anne how he lived a very messy lifestyle, but despite all the money he was getting from the lifestyle, despite the luxury vacations, luxury food, clothes, cars, houses he was living in, he still felt unfulfilled. He was sad because that was not the lifestyle he planned for. So he said, one day he hated the lifestyle, then he decided to stop. Sabinas looked for a new job, but the sugar mummies he was once involved with didn't let him concentrate. Some started threatening him that they will kill him if he tries to stop seeing them, while some tried to entice him with more material things. He had only worked for 3 months when he begged the company to transfer him to Kano, where he met Anne. The transfer was approved. That was how he was able to leave Port Harcourt to Kano, and he was able to live that lifestyle. When Anne heard all his story, she started crying because she was in same dilemma. She told Sabinas her story too, and they both cried together. Sabinas encouraged Anne to stop her present lifestyle that it would take her to doom, and took her advice. And gradually she turned a new leaf. Anne and Sabinas became close friends for 2 years, that their colleagues in the office even thought they were in a relationship. That when they don't see Anne, they will ask Sabinas, "Where is your wife?" Same thing to Anne when Sabinas is not around. At this point, Anne was already in love with Sabinas, but she was scared to express it to him. She wanted a mutual love and she didn't want to break their friendship, so she remained silent. On the other hand, Sabinas felt the same thing, but he wasn't so sure, and he was scared that he will hurt another woman again. So he also remained silent. Few months later, COVID-19 happened. During the lockdown, Sabinas realized that he was truly in love with Anne. They missed each other so much that they were always on video calls. After the lockdown, Sabinas expressed his love to Anne and replied, "I've been dating you since E." And they laughed. The journey of a beautiful relationship began. The joy didn't last for long. The men in Anne's past started knocking. The most frustrating one was Chief Obi. Chief Obi and Anne dated for 2 years. He was the most prominent and the most cheerful among the rest. He once asked Anne to be his second wife. Because of the money she was getting from Chief, she accepted, even when she knew in her heart that she can never be Chief Obi's second wife. Chief Obi was old, uneducated, fat with a pot belly, and not social or romantic. Secondly, he was also very dirty. He can stay for days without taking his bath, and his dress sense was 2 out of 100. All he cares about was how to make more money, and all his containers coming from China. He was basically not the kind of man Anne can ever marry, but he deceived Chief Obi.